Bonjour à tous, привет, konnichiwa. So welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in today's wonderful discussion, talking about a very important topic about the mind, right? About the mind. So your mind is your factory. The mind is your factory. Okay. So that is what we'll be talking about today. So what is the mind? What is the mind? So one of the most difficult things to define in the world is the mind. So to be able to define what your mind is, you have to use your mind to define what your mind is. It is very, very important. Nobody has a picture of what his mind is, because you need your mind to be able to picture your mind, which is very, very intriguing. So now, what is the mind? So let's see how we are able to see or define what our mind is. So our mind is the organ for thinking, right? So the mind is the organ for thinking. So the main task of your mind is to think, is to decide, is to make decisions, is to think about things, is to store stuff. The mind can do one thing very, very well, which is thinking. So either use it to think about positive things or use it to think about negative things. Either use your mind to worry or use your mind to think productive stuff. So the mind is the organ for thinking. Again, the mind is the instrument for perception and conception. So it is with the mind that we use to perceive all that around us. So when we see, our eyes, our ears, everything that we gather from the outside, from our senses, it goes through our mind and then we perceive them. Then it's not only just an instrument for perception, not only an organ for perception, but also an organ for conception. That means that it's an organ that is used to produce thoughts. It doesn't not only receive input, but it's also be able to produce stuff. Right? So it doesn't only just perceive ideas or perceive sensations or stuff, but also conceive ideas. So it's not just a receptor, but it's also a giver, which is very, very interesting about the mind. Okay. So the mind is the brain, right? So the mind and the brain is just like the same, but the brain is just a physical representation of our mind. The brain is the physical representation of our mind. It explains why anything that affects your brain affects your mind. Anything that affects your mind affects your brain. So in case somebody is short, or maybe somebody's having psychosis, or he's having schizophrenia or something that affects the brain, it's going to affect his mind. So the brain is the physical representation of our mind. Again, the mind is one of the greatest treasures that God has given to you. Then you are the CEO of your own mind, right? So we're talking about that more. So now, what is the mind? So the mind, as we have already learned, is a thinking organ. So, and I was thinking, we're saying that the mind, you are the CEO of your mind. So what is the mind specifically? So the mind can be seen simply as a mind, right? So your mind is a mind. Number one, your mind is a mind, right? MIN. Again, your mind is a factory. It's not just something there, it is a factory. It is processing a lot of things. Your mind is pretty, as a matter of fact, it is said that about 20%, is it 20%? Yeah, 20% of all the oxygen that you are receiving, all the energy is going to your brain, is going to your mind. So that means that it's taking most of the resources of the body. So your mind is a very highly advanced factory. Again, since it's a factory, it is supposed to have a storehouse. So your mind is a storehouse. It's not just a factory, it's not just a mind, but it's also a storehouse. Then your mind is not just a storehouse, it's also a warehouse. Now let's go deeper into this thing before we go into other definitions of what the mind is. So your mind is a mind. So that means that since it's a mind, it's having a lot of treasures. So all the things that we see in this world are products of the mind. They are treasures which we have mined, which we have gone deeper, we have dig deeper to find. So one of the ways of harnessing this treasure called your mind, which is a mind, is to ask questions. So questions are like tools which are used to dig the mind. So anytime you ask a question, it's like you're using a machine to dig that particular thing called your mind. That is why questions trigger your mind to start thinking. So the more questions you ask, the more you begin to dig this mind called the mind. So your mind is one of the greatest treasures God has given to you, and it's a mind. It's full of ideas, and the ideas are such that they are powerful. And then the mind, as a mind, is such that unless you dig it, you can never know what is inside the mind. That explains why you can't know what I'm thinking. I may be laughing with you, but you may not know what I'm thinking. The same way, you may be laughing with me, but you may not know. I may not know what you are thinking, unless we dig, unless we ask you questions, unless we study you very well. So your mind is a mind. It is very, very important. Again, your mind has things. So after those things have been brought out, the same mind is also acting as a factory. So when God gives you an idea or something comes to your mind, you have mined it out, you have taken it out. The same mind is also a factory. So for example, like you're taking gold, right, from the ground, from the mine, you need to send it to a refinery factory. You need to send it to a factory to process it. So your mind is also a factory. So inside the factory, there are a lot of machineries, there are a lot of tools, there are a lot of things to process the mine. So because of that, and then most often one thing about factories that factories have set of systems, they have set of structures to enable them to do their work, right? In the same way, the knowledge you have, the ideas you have, the understanding you have, all those things are like structures, they are like systems, they are like instruments, they are like tools, machineries that will help you to use and process all the ideas that come into your mind. So your mind is a factory, and since a factory, you are the CEO, you are the one in charge of everything. And every factory has a storehouse. After they have processed those things, after they have worked on those things, like let's say something like a car, or let's say textile factory or something, after they have done all those things, they have produced those products, they send it into a storehouse, and the storehouse is going to be stored there for some time. The storehouse is going to be stored. So the mind is a storehouse. It can store good, it can store bad. It will not, you are the CEO, so you are the one supposed to allow things to enter. You are the product manager, you are the manager of your mind, you are the manager of the storehouse, you are the watchman or the janitor, right? Yes, you are not supposed to, you are the one in charge to make sure that nothing bad enters, because the storehouse, it has the capacity to store both good and bad. So you are the one in charge, you are the CEO of your mind, you are the CEO of the factory, you are the janitor, so you are the one supposed to make sure that you don't allow any unnecessary things, any negative things, any things that are not worthy to enter that storehouse, because it is those things that are stored in the storehouse that will be used further on in the factory and then in the warehouse. So your mind is also a warehouse whereby you store all your waste, all your stuff. So these are some of the main stuff about the mind. So your mind is a factory, your mind is a mine, your mind is a storehouse, your mind is a warehouse. Again, your mind is a workspace. It is a place that you work. That explains why that we need more energy for our brain. That explains why thinking is difficult. Thinking is a work. When you are thinking about a lot of things, it's weird. That explains why even when you are using your mind, which is a thinking organ, not just to think but to worry, you feel tired. You feel you can develop diseases because you are using your mind so much. So your mind is a workspace. That is where all the processing, all the activities is done. So you have to see the power that God has given to you as by giving you a mind. So your mind is a workspace. All the work is done here. Is done in your mind. Again, that means that whoever controls your mind controls your mind. Whoever controls your mind controls your factory. Whoever controls your mind controls your storehouse and your warehouse. Whoever controls your mind controls your workspace. Okay, now let's move on again to something different apart from this machine stuff. Your mind also is a garden. Your mind is a garden. So as a garden, it can be fertile and then can be unfertile. But you are the gardener. You are the one responsible to make your mind fertile so that you be able to produce the good fruit that you want. You're the one supposed to make your mind fertile. So how do you make your mind fertile? That means that you have to keep on processing, you have to keep on thinking, you have to keep on reading, learning, doing everything necessary. You need the Holy Spirit to help you become more fertile. Like these are things that are going to help you produce more. Just like the story of the parable. Some of them fell on good ground, some fell on bad ground. Those that fell on good ground, they were 3 levels. We have those that grew 100%, 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold. So it depends on the level of fertility of the ground. So the more fertile your mind is, the more productive you become. So it depends upon you, who is the CEO, it depends on you, who is the gardener, to make your mind fertile so that it become more productive. So these are some of the things about the mind. So you have to understand that your mind is your factory. It's the only factory that you have been given. It's a mind, and then you are the one responsible as the CEO of your mind to make sure that you produce products, produce services, you produce solutions, you produce fruits and then vegetables to feed the world, to solve the problems of the world, to meet the needs of people, to inspire other people. So thank you for listening. I hope to see you using your mind as it has been created to be. Thank you.